Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. A first for me, pretty sure a first for the channel. I'm going to be reviewing, going over a watch that we now carry here in the store. It is my first foray into a non-Swiss or Japanese automatic chronograph. Typically something left to the higher echelons of watch making, watch manufacturing, because they are fairly complex. However, this is going to come to you in a very affordable package. I'll go over it. I think it's a pretty cool looking watch, and we'll also go over some lower cost mechanical options as well. For my own wrist check today, on one wrist I'm sporting the Brew Super Metric. As I've said in the past, I own 3 Brews. I love the brand. Saw the Super Metric come up on my feed a few months ago. Simply had to have one. And on my other wrist, unfortunately, a watch I think is discontinued at this point. Islander Abalone Brookville. Beautiful looking watch, however, I think it's run its course, but stay tuned. We are totally revamping and retooling the Brookville, and hopefully it comes back later this year in 2025. That's what I've got here. Let's see the chronos. So here we go. We will start with the main attraction. As I mentioned, this is kind of like my first foray into automatic Chinese chronographs. Definitely done Swiss, definitely held some Japanese ones, but this is my first automatic chrono, and this is a Peacock SL4617 movement. And we'll get into the details in just a minute, but let's go over the watch. The watch is from Hemel, which is a micro brand established here on Long Island by Marvin Menke. I've definitely mentioned him before. A lot of you probably know who he is. It is a 43 millimeter case. So because this is an automatic chrono, you expect it to be super duper thick. It is thick, it's 16 thick, but I was actually surprised. I thought it would be thicker. Watches sporting like the Seiko NE88 automatic chrono are typically a lot thicker. The Valjoux 7750, pretty thick watch, but 16, and now that 16, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's important, is measured to the top of this domed to box sapphire crystal. So it's like an extra millimeter or so here, maybe even a little bit more than that. So it is kept fairly thin, in my opinion. 49 millimeters on the lug tip to lug tip. So as I said, it is a sapphire crystal. It is box, which is a more expensive technique to making a boxed crystal because you have to get that edge into it. It is a 20 millimeter leather strap, kind of lackluster on the strap. Really, in my opinion, not exactly befitting of a watch of this style and nature, but I think this will look hot on like a 20 millimeter mesh or something. So I showed you the screw down exhibition case back. You could see the movement. The movement does hand wind. The movement does hack. It's water resistant to 50 meters. It weighs 120 grams. So I pull out the crown, 2 clicks. I'll change the time. The seconds indicator, running seconds, is over here at the 9, just like a Seagull ST19. Your elapsed minutes is here. It's a 30-minute elapsed chrono, and then your center elapsed seconds are there. So beautiful oblong pushers. The start-stop is done in orange. The reset is down here in silver. So after a minute, you'll see that counter index 1 position. After 30 minutes, it'll just keep going around and around. You do not get more than a 30-minute timer, which will bring me to the bezel. The bezel is a 120 click, unidirectional, ratcheting bezel, ceramic insert. You will notice that it is actually a count down bezel insert as opposed to a count up. Starts at 55. So you want to time something for 45 minutes. You put the 45 opposite the minute hand, and when the minute hand gets the triangle, boom, 45 is up. However, I enjoy what he does in a lot of his other watches where he would use a 12-hour insert, line up the hour hand to the dot, and then you can see how many hours have elapsed on the chronograph. But we don't get that here. So classic blue and orange colors. You know what the color scheme is. You can say it. I cannot. You have a tachometer on the inner rehaut, and that is for rate measurements, how many times per minute something is going to occur. And let's see, nice subdials, easy to read hands, silver syringe style hands, good lume. We'll do the lume at the end. As I said, the movement does hand wind, it does hack. Price, $700 for the automatic Hemel skyracer chronograph. Now let's say he's like, you know what, that's a little bit too rich for my blood or something, and I want a little bit thinner. Well, I bring to you the skyracer mechanical chronograph. Very, very similar watch, same color, same case overall shape. It is thinner. It is 2 millimeters thinner. It's 14 thick. It's still a 43 millimeter case, and it's still 49 on the lug-to-lug, but it is 14 from top to bottom, again with the box sapphire. I cannot emphasize enough how much box sapphire adds to the cost of a watch at the wholesale level, or at the manufacturer level, I should say. The difference between flat sapphire and box sapphire is fairly extreme. On the back, you get the regular Seagull ST19 movement that you are used to seeing. This is actually a 1902. There's been another sub-dial covered up by the dial down here, but that's why it's a 1902 movement. However, get all the usual Seagull fare. You still get the orange coated start-stop button, but this is now a strict hand wind. So on this one, you'll hand wind it for, I don't know, about 20 or 30 seconds or so, and eventually the crown will hit a hard stop. And once it hits that hard stop, that's the indication for you to stop winding. And how much will Mark have to talk before it stops winding? We're there, it just stopped. 40 hours of power reserve, very similar for this guy. But start, stop, and reset. The functionality is the same, you know, elapsed seconds, running seconds, elapsed minutes, elapsed seconds would be in the center, same bezel. So the mechanical version, though, comes in 5 colors. The auto right now only comes in this color. 5 colors, and they're all $550. I should mention that it's also 10 grams lighter, 110 grams. So you have the blue and orange. You have a full lume, pretty cool. We'll do that when the lights go out. I'm just gonna go over these really quick. You have a navy blue, which, well, maybe not so quick, because the dial on this one is textured, like a sand texture. I think you can see that coming through. And a beautiful navy blue matching insert. I got 2 more to show you. Racing green, kind of like a nice deep British racing green. I'm not sure if I can say that. I think I can. Well, I guess I'll find out in a few weeks. Nice textured dial, beautiful matching bezel insert, and then the last one to show you is basic black, again with the texture on it. And these are all mechanical. These 4 I showed you, actually these 5 I showed you, are mechanical Seagull ST19 movements. Let's try one on. Lume, be done. I'm going lefty today, I'm sorry. So this is it on my 6.5, 6 3/4 inch wrist. And looks great. The lug-to-lug at 49 is squat. Cushion case is very cozy. If I pull the strap, you'll see kind of that's where I would be, second to last hole. So it is a good fit on my wrist. I would say you're going down to around a 6.5 and probably up to about 7 3/4 to 8. Let's do some lume. First up, full lume dial, absolutely ridiculous. Next up, the other 3 mechanical chronos will all be the same. The green, the black, and the navy blue will be like this. I love how the inner numbers are loomed as well on the dial. Super cool little bonus there. And then the 2 blue and orange chronos are gonna both loom like that. The hands look really nice. Gives a super slick look in the dark. And I think it's going to wrap it up for us today. This has been Mark from LongIsleWatch.com, showing you some affordable chronograph options, automatic and mechanical, from Hemel. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Questions, comments, anything else you want to say, put it down below. I will get back to you or those comments as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.